Thanks very much, Ken Workington. And hi, everybody. I'm Dave Little, and this is In the Sulky. My guest tonight, well, a trainer extraordinaire, not yet 30 years of age, young Marcus Melander is sitting beside me in the sulky seat. And Marcus, thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
A real busy time for you at the time of the year. You're a specialist with trotters. Tell me, why is it that we see so many trainers like yourself who are from Sweden who prefer the trotters to the pacers?
Well, obviously because we don't have pacers out in Europe.
Okay, so not at all.
Not at all. So it's a pretty, that's a pretty easy answer, yeah.
All right, so no pacers there, so all you work with is trotters. But we have seen some of the guys, Jimmy Takter for one, did get here, and after a while they work with some pacers. Does that interest you in any way, shape, or form?
We have a couple of pacers, like 3-4 of them, but mostly trotters. So I like the pacers, but most of my owners like trotters as well. So we just keep it at the trotters.
Now tonight it's going to be a busy night for you. You have 5 horses in, but lucky for you, 2 of them are in a $240,000 race, and 3 are in the other $240,000 race. So it's a nice way to go.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited about tonight. We got some nice horses in, and hopefully we have a good night.
Now 5 horses in tonight. How many horses are in your barn?
About 55, so it's a whole bunch. So we got about 35 2-year-olds, so getting ready here to baby race in a couple of weeks here. So yeah, that'll be exciting.
So we'll get back to your, we're going to talk more about your big 2019 in a moment. But you have 55 horses now. Did you have more horses then or less?
No, not really. We were, when we start out in the winter, we have between 60 and 65. Then a couple of the 3-year-olds went to Sweden. That was Swedish bred, and a couple of 2-year-olds that's not going to make it. We turned out. So we start out between 60 and 65 after the sales.
All right, so you're a busy guy, and obviously you need a lot of help. And we talked right before we went on camera about how a lot of guys are looking for a lot of help and how it was tough for a while. But you have a pretty good start. In the barn every day, you have your younger sister and younger brother helping you out.
Yeah, they are very important for my barn, and both of them. And Matthias is a trainer, and helps train, and then he drives a lot of races too. And Michaela takes care of 5 horses here, so they're very important in the business.
When you give them stuff to do they listen?
Not always, but
not always,
for the most part.
All right, for the most part. Let's take a look at the Melander file. We're going to talk more about you. Obviously, you were born in Sweden. And when did you come to the States?
End of 2013. I was here for 3 months, and then I went home to fix my visa, and I worked at 2014 for Jimmy Takter, and then on 2015 I went on my own.
So what made you, at such a young age, able to break out on your own?
We started out with just like 8-9 horses, and luckily after 2 years I got some horses from Anders, and we were lucky to the first one was Enterprise. He won a Hamiltonian elimination at 3. That year we also had 4 dimensions, so then it just kind of rolled after that.
All right, so your farm is down in New Egypt, New Jersey. It had some pretty famous owners before you.
Yeah, Stanley Dancer built that farm about, I don't know when he built it. But
a long time ago.
He built it a long time ago, and then Continental Farm bought that farm from him in 92, I think, and then we bought that farm in, 2013.
All right, let's get to the Marcus Melander highlight reel. In 2019, you were voted the Trainer of the Year, highlighted by 3 horses. A trio that I have dubbed the Killer G's. And of course that starts with Green Shoe, Chimpanzee, and Green Manalishi. What a season that was. Green Shoe, 1.3 million. Chimpanzee, almost 3. And Green Manalishi, he was no bum at 1.1.
They were all 3 amazing horses, and it's amazing to get those 3 at the same year. They really were, they were amazing horses.
In the Stanley Dancer that year, let's take a look at Green Shoe winning, and boy, he was surely impressive this night. In fact, he had a season as a 3-year-old where 3 near misses or he would have been undefeated for the season.
Yeah, he was an amazing horse. His acceleration was just incredible, and he could run so freaking fast, that horse, and even if he went 49-4, I think he could go 48 if Brian ever tried him, but we never did, and hopefully his offsprings will take over that speed he had.
Very much looking forward to that. I know you are. The Chimpanzee is standing where?
Sorry?
Chimpanzee is standing where?
Chimpanzee, he's standing in Kentucky. Green Shoe is standing in Pennsylvania, and Green Manalishi is standing in Canada.
All right, now let's turn the page on Green Shoe and talk a little about Chimpanzee. He earned over 2.7 in his career, and his statement win came as a 4-year-old in the Hamiltonian maturity, and he overcame post 13. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he was just from day one so professional, and he never threw in a bad race, to be honest. And he at 3 he made over $1 million. He won the Yonkers Trot. He was third in the Hambo, third in the Kentucky Futurity. Won the Matron. He was just an amazing horse. And then at 4 he was even better. That horse started out in New York, on those half-mile tracks at 2, and he was sound in his entire career. Even when we took him to stud, he was such a sound horse, and after race on the top level for 2, 3, and 4, he was just incredible.
You have a long-standing relationship with Brian Sears, who was the driver in both of those pieces of footage that we just saw. How did that relationship come about?
Well, we started with Fourth Dimension. He was a New York horse. We had Brian on him, and it kind of started out there.
Before we go on to the next, how about Green Manalishi? He won the Canadian Trotting Classic and was second in this Wagner Green Shoe. Now, you can't have Brian drive all your horses, so you had Tim Tetrick drive him. How did you settle on Timmy?
Tim and me have a very good relationship as well. He started to drive Long Tom for me, and that also won a very many 3-year-old nice races, and he still drives a lot for me. Yeah, it's good.
All right, so that was 2019, but now let's turn forward and talk about 2022. Let's talk about tonight. In the 7th race, Fillies, New Jersey Sire Stake, and we're going to talk first about number 4, Jaya Bay. Brian Sears drives this horse, a 4th in her first race of the year, and then she just got nailed by Jiggy Jog at the wire in a very nice speed trial most recent.
Yeah, she was both raced good both weeks. She got locked in the first week there, and she was 4th. Last week she just got beat by the wire, but Brian was happy with her, and I think she's a little bit better off the pace, so I think Brian will try to get a trip today. But she's a very fast horse, and it's a good field, but she's one of them that can win.
How's Peyton Hanover coming into the race off a win and a second to Fashion Schooner, who's the likely favorite tonight?
Yeah, she raced huge both weeks. Even if she was second the second week, she came home 26-2, and I couldn't be more impressed how she's coming back. She really, last year she was okay. I thought she was going to be better, but she's stronger this year, and I think she'll have a good year.
All right, that's the Fillies. Let's take a look at the 9th race, New Jersey Sire Stakes for 3-year-old Colt and Gelding Trotters, and you have a very good one. Brian will drive this one. Temporal Hanover. Look at this close to make it 2 for 2 in 2022.
Yeah, his first week he was good, but I wasn't really happy with his gait the first week. Changed some shoeing on him, and second week he was perfect. So I'm confident that this horse going into this race, even if we got the 7-hole.
Certainly this is a race where you figure that Pretender and Looks Like Money are going to be heading to the top. So it might just be the type of race where the race is won from off the pace.
Yeah, it's up to Brian. I never tell Brian anything. It's up to him what he wanted to do. He can leave if he wants him to. So we'll see what happens. It's up to Brian completely.
And what about Classic Hill and Periculum?
Classic Hill lost a bell boots last week in the middle of the stretch, so he got too pacey and rolled over. From this post, we have to be a little, over pace, but he can get a check if it's the right speed on the race.
All right, and finally, Periculum. This horse came from out of the clouds to win 2 starts back with Matthias in the sulky.
Yeah, he's a very nice horse. I think he's as good as Temporal, to be honest. But we got the 10-hole today, and it's going to be tough from there. But he's a very good horse, actually.
All right, and finally and lastly, tomorrow night, a Muscle Hill colt by the name of Son of a Mystery is racing with Brian at the controls, post 7 in an overnight race. Why pick that spot?
Well, we got the graduate coming up next week in Canada. I'm not sure we're going there or not, but he had 3 weeks until his last when he won the graduate here. I think he'll be okay tomorrow, but we'll see after tomorrow if we go to Canada or not. I really like how he started out this season, so I don't want to, his confidence are, very good right now, so I don't want to, ship him and just, I want to keep him here. He likes Meadowlands.
All right, well, it looks like it could be a big weekend for Marcus Melander and his staff. Marcus, we want to thank you very much for taking a few minutes out of your busy schedule to spend with us tonight.
Thank you.
Marcus Melander, thanks so much for being with us. Marcus, it's time for him to get to work, and it's also time for Dave Brower to get to work. He's going to jump in that chair and be back in 60 minutes to get out the hardware for the Trainer and Driver of the Week and also talk about tonight's featured action.